Hi guys, welcome back to Future Dimensions 360. As you know, in our last tutorial we had implemented a quiz example with React.js. Now it's a time to implement another example with React.js, as in our current series we are moving forward with one example in each tutorial. In today's tutorial we will be implementing calculator by using React.js. So without wasting time, let's dive into the code and learn how we can how we can make calculator in React.js. What I have done here is I had created an empty project with the integration of Tailwind. If any one of you guys don't know how to create a project with Tailwind, just watch my previous two videos from the same series. I had explained all of that in detail. So in today's tutorial we will be starting calculator. Let's go ahead and start creating a user interface for that. We will be creating one component folder and one shared folder. Shared folder will contain some sort of other folders called button, and there will be another folder called, I can say, paragraph. Let's say paragraph. Okay. Button will be sharing up with me the button components around the application, and paragraph will be sharing up a component in which I can show the paragraph. Why I'm creating these shared components? Because whatever the design I will pass to one of my button, it's very hard to pass always all the Tailwind classes to each of the button having similar design. So what we'll do here is we'll keep those button in shared folders. Let's go into our component folder and create a container, and inside container folder I'll be creating new file called container.js. RFC React functional component, that will be actually your calculator. I'll say this will be my calculator. In the beginning we will be implementing the UI only. Let's remove everything from here and just import inside the header one container component that we had created just now. Let's move forward to our application. You guys can see calculator is appearing. So what I have done here is I have to pass some classes. What will be the class? For example, I'll say border, border, border dash. I can say, let's say I need border for every side. P-4 will be this one, and I will say rounded dash MD. It will make my edges rounded. Yeah. That's look pretty good. And let's say another folder that will be showing up the text, or I will say let me give it a name called display, the calculator display, and there will be another folder that will be keypad. So display will contain a new file called display.js RFC React functional component, and it will say, for example, I will say like I am a display. Let me remove this from here like this, and this calculator will be containing display, and there will be another file called new file called keypad.js. RFC React functional component will be here, and here we will be creating I am a keypad. Like very normally I will create I am a keypad. Okay, so the name for the function will be similar to this. So I will say keypad, and here it will be display. So let's import display and keypad as well. Yep, let's see, it will be I am a display. So what actually the display will do for me? Display will show me, for example, I will say a paragraph. So how can I make paragraph? It will be here. Let me create a new file called paragraph.js. RFC, it will be a React functional component, and it will take some props inside it as a parameter, or I will say some class name. Okay, so this paragraph, what it will show here is, it will show me p component. Okay, and I will say here, for example, 1 2 3 props, okay, will be rest props. Okay, and the second thing will be class name. And for example, I want this paragraph and the text as well, paragraph and value as well. Value will be the inside text, or I will say text as well. So the text will be here, appearing here, text. Okay, let's remove these props for the meantime. Later on we will be discussing about it. So the class will be what? Classes, we should pass it as dynamic. First of all, whatever the class that will be coming from the parent component, pass that one. Later on pass that one to override that, and in the beginning we will add some classes like h11. Let's keep it h9. Okay, and let's see how it will look like. Here I will be passing first paragraph, and inside paragraph what I will do here is, I will say class name will be border dash b. Very sorry, class name will be border dash b, and the value will be, for example, the number. For example, it will be my number 1. For example, I will say it's 1 plus 1. Okay, so let's say this will be my paragraph, and returning this function paragraph, and it will be in the keypad. Let's say this is not a part of keypad, I am a keypad, it will be a part of our display. So let's import it in the display, and let's say paragraph is not defined. Paragraph is not defined. Let's remove this paragraph from keypad, and you guys can see I have something here. Let's go to display paragraph, and I will say text dash white. So it's still not appearing. Text is here, text is here. In the display I have to pass the value as text. So 1 plus 1 is appearing here. Okay, what I want here is, I want the paragraph text to be neutral, and it will be, for example, 700. And here what I want is, I want class and bg dash white. I want to pass white here. Okay, it's look much better now, and I will give it a width, for example, w dash 96. So pretty cool, much better now. And this paragraph text will be, for example, text dash sm. Okay, and there will be another thing here, that will be, for example, I will say w dash full flex dash row and justify, and this will take the text here, and let's give it px minus 4 as well for the padding. So these things what I want here is, I want always in this paragraph. So let's copy it here and paste it here. Okay, other than this, Text I want okay, same text. Then the rest thing is I don't want border in the other things. That's fine. W full border B will be in the second one. There is no border, I don't need border, and that's it. Or let's keep the border, it's fine. So this will be my first border B, and I will say border dash neutral, same thing I will say 800. Keep it 800. This one as well, keep it as 800. Border is not appearing. I'll look into it later on. Let's say this is my first, and the second one with display will be results. This will, for example, I will say, okay, it will be like this. For example, I will say user inputs, and the second one will be, for example, this will be results. For example, it will be results, and this will be results. Here I will show the results. The size for the results will be, for example, LG. There is no border, I don't need any border here. It will be better. And what I need here is, for example, I will say 1 plus 1 equals to 2. So it will look like this a bit in a way. Let's remove this H9, so it will be better. So my operation will appear here in up, and the results will appear here. Now let's go ahead and try to create a keypad. How we can create a keypad? Let's say in a button folder, I will create a new file called button.js. RFC React functional component, I will be passing here a button component. Yep. What I need here is class name. I want some classes name from the parent component. Okay. Then I need on click event. For example, it will be like this: handle click. Okay, and I need text for the button, and all these things will appear from where? From props, from the parent component. Handle click, and the last one will be text. Okay, so let's import this button here, BUTTON button, and I will say like this. Very sorry. Let me say class name empty. Let's keep it as empty string. And on click event, for example, handle click will be, for example, an empty callback, and the last one will be text, and the text will be, for example, for the first one it will be 1, and then the second one will be 2, and the third one will be, for example, 3. So 1 2 3 is appearing here. Now let's design the button a little bit. What we have to do is w-full, we have to pass w-full, bg dash white, text dash neutral dash 800, what we are passing here, and then border, we should pass border dash neutral dash 800 as well. Okay, now we have to make these buttons in the single line as well. So what I have to do here is I have to pass something like this, and this will be class name flex dash row. So this is how you can create first 3 buttons. 1 2 3. Very sorry, it will be this flex dash call, and then the next row will be class name, I will say flex dash row. 1 2 3 is appearing. Now what I want here is, in my container, I want flex dash call and gap dash 12. I want gap between them is 12 is too much. Let's keep it 4. So this is how my 1, 2, 3 will appear. Let's move forward. Let's try to copy this again. And this will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. This will be our buttons, and then I will have 3 more buttons. One of them will be, for example, AC, that will reset it up to 0, and then one of them will be equals to, that will give what? That will give us the final result from the calculator. On top, what I want is, I want to show plus, minus, multiply and divide 4 more button at the beginning. What I have to do here is, I have to pass 4 more buttons. One of them will be plus, one of them will be minus, one of them will be multiply, and the last one will be divide. So we have 4 buttons in the beginning, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at our counting, and then we have all the buttons for counting, AC and equal to. What happened if I will move this plus, minus, multiply, divide to the right side? It will look more nicer. How? Let's say I will pass it here. Let's pass this one here. Let's pass this one here, and let's pass this division, the last one, at the end here. Very sorry, this I copied it wrong. So it will look more nicer in this way. Plus, minus, multiply, divide and equal to 0, and AC is in front of you. So now let's try to implement functionality a little bit. How we can implement functionality? We have to create one use reducer hook for that. Let's say const initial state equals to, initial state will be, for example, value 1. Value 1 will be empty string. Value 2, again an empty string. Operation will be an empty string again, and the last thing is result will be an empty string again. Then I will have const reducer function. Reducer function will be an arrow function that will take current state as an input, and the operation type, or you can say like action, you can say action will be a method that we can take. So now let's see, we will have some certain scenarios. First of all, let's check if the operation, for example, if the value 1 is, if the operation double equals to empty, if the operation is empty string. Okay, if the operation is empty string, what we have to return? We have to return current state plus action dot value. Current state, we have to, let's give it an if, that will be more clear. Let's make it in the if, that will be more clear. So we have to return what? If the operation, if you didn't click on any operation, if the operation is empty, what you have to return? What you have to return in that scenario is, you have to return an object for sure, current state. Make sure your result will be empty. By all means, your result will be empty, and your value, whatever the value you will receive in action, you have to add that value in value 1. Value 1 equals to current state dot value 1 plus action dot value only, and that's it. In case, let's move forward to else. In case your operation is not empty, then you have to check that either you had clicked an equal to button or no. So for that one, you have to write here logic. For that, what you have to do is you have to identify if action dot result is equals to true. If you had passed true in the results, then we have to perform what? Action dot operation in the switch statement. Otherwise, if action dot result is false, you have to return something like that, but with value 2. So first of all, what you have to do, you will get something like this in the action parameter. Okay, action will look like something like this. I'm just giving you an example for that. Okay, action will be looking like this, an object that will contain a value. Okay, any value, for example it will be 1, and operation, for example any operation, for example if it was plus, and last thing is it will contain a result. Always you will pass result as false, and if it's true, then what you have to do here is you have to pass this action and you have to make cases. For example, case will be plus. In case of plus, what you have to do here is you have to return the current state as it is back, but result will be your plus value 2, but it should be in integer format. We are using with integer in this calculator, so we will be using integer only. Floats we will be implementing later on some way when you are able to understand this in details. Okay, this is our case for plus, and for minus what we have to do here is just pass minus, and value 1 should be same, no need for value 1, just result will be minus here. And similarly, if it's multiply, then you have to multiply both numbers, and if it's divide, then you have to divide both numbers. One thing, make sure once you had clicked the results, after that you have to reset the operation. Okay, what you have to do is operation you have to reset always. Okay, like this, and reset the values as well to initial state. Like, let me remove this, this is more better. Like this, value 1 and value 2 will be resetted up like this. And in default, if no operation match, what you have to do here is you have to return the initial state. Return initial state. So that's it. This will be your very nice reducer. We will explain it one more time later on. Let's say const, and for example I will say calculator state, comma, calculator dispatch equals to use reducer hook, and this use reducer hook will take initial state, and initial state will be the second parameter, reducer will be the first parameter. Your reducer will be the first parameter, reducer and initial state. this will be your calculator and calculate reducer. What you have to do here is you have to pass this dispatch and calculator, where calculator store and this in the display or in display. What you need is you need the state only. For example, I will pass this. Let's go on to display component. I will be taking this as props here, and the display will be, for example, let's say, for example, here it will show only the result always. What will be the result? I will say calculation state dot result. Let's move forward. Container operation is not defined, line number 13. Container line number 13. Let's go to container. Line number 13 is saying our operation is not defined. Wow. It should be action dot operation. Okay. So let's say our result will be, in the beginning we will keep result as dash like this. So initial state is there, current state is there. From the display we are passing the text as, for example, I will say like this. Yeah, it's appear. Now it's not appearing. Calculator state is here. Let's try to inspect, go here, and let's try to log our calculator state in the component called calculator state. You guys can see my result is 0 in the beginning. Let's go back to container. I will keep it as dash, or let's keep it as 0. So let's see, Control Shift R, it's 0 currently, so it is appearing 0. Initial state we kept it as 0. And in here what we have to do here is, first of all, the first number will appear always. Okay, so your calculator state dot value 1 will appear always. Okay, and after that, in case of operation, calculator state dot ope, let's copy paste it, that's better, oppration operation, and the last one will be calculator state dot value 1. Instead of 1 we will be keeping as 2. So this paragraph will show these are the classes. Let's neglect the classes. The text will be here, and yeah, that's it. 1 operation and value 2. Similarly, the text in the paragraph results, it will show the results. Now let's move forward to our keypads. What will be done with keypads? In keypads we will be needing our dispatch. So let's pass this calculator dispatch in our keypad. Let's take it as props here in keypad. We had taken it as props here. What we have to do in our +1. Okay, let's say I will say it like this, handle click, and the text will be here. So let's say it will be like this, calculate dispatch, and calculate dispatch will be taking dispatch method as a parameter. What dispatch method will do? So here we want the current state as well. So let's pass this as well, because I want to know the first value, the last value, and the operation if there is any. So let's say it will be like this. Okay, so let's come back to our dispatch. First of all, we want value operation in dispatch. Operation will be, if you click 1, then the operation will be same as calculator state dot operation. Whatever the operation is, you will pass the same. If it's empty, pass it as empty. Secondly, what you want? you want value. What value will go here is value will go here 1. Then what you want as result you will pass only false except equal to button. Result will go as false. Let's hit save. Let's go back to our browser. Let's remove this from here, the log. It will be better. So let's make it down. Let's say Control Shift R. Let's say I click 1. You guys can see the 1 is changed. So when I'm clicking 1, it's changed. Let's go back to our display and try to log it again to see what is our state now. So let's click here. The 1 is appearing. That's mean my value 1 is going on in value. When I click, it's saved in value 2. Why? Let's go back to our container and try run it here. Let's say console.log, and the log will be action. Okay, so my action, let's reload it. My action will be here. You guys can see this is coming from display. This is the action. Operation is empty. So if my operation is empty, it will be double equals to. That's why it's going to wrong. So let's say Control Shift R. You guys can see I am passing my result should be 0 always. Let's pass result as 0. It will be better. Let's pass result as 0. If there is no results, let's pass it as 0. See 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1 is adding. Okay. So that is adding to my number 1. Let's go to keypad. Try to copy this handle. 1 second. Let's copy this button and try to paste twice more and remove this from here, and the text will be 3 here, value will be 3 here, value will be 2 here, and here it will be 2 as well. Let's say, let me reload it. Click here 1, 2, 1, 2. You guys can see my number 1 is working perfectly. If I can click as 3, 3 is appearing also. So let's try to copy this button and paste it in place of 4, 5, 6 as well, and 7, 8, 9 as well. Let's copy and paste it as 7, 8, 9 as well. So it should be 9. The last one is 9. It should be say 8, and the second last is 8. This is 7 and this is 7. If we go forward, this is 6 and this is 6, 5, and this one is 5, then it's 4, and this is 4. So all our buttons are very good condition. Now this is first row, second row, third row, and that's it. This will be our final row, and the 0 will be similar to, like, if you are passing 0, we will pass same button here as well as 0. It will be 0 and it will be 0. Control Shift R, we had reloaded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 0. It's working very perfectly. Now we have to work with the operation. So let's try to pass first operation. Let's say our handle click is this one. Let's copy this one. Come here and let's say class is here, handle click and text. Let's copy this and paste it here. This time what I want to do here is operation I want to pass is as plus. If the operation is plus, okay, so what we have to do here is just value, no need to pass anything. If the operation came as plus, if you click on plus, you have to change the operation only. So just pass what 0 as value in the beginning. Okay, it will go to, or just pass empty value. That's fine. Let's say if I pass plus, you guys can see it's Control Shift R, 1 and 2, and once I click plus, I'm seeing that the 2 value is changed to 12 again. Plus is not there anymore. So what we have to do here is, let's say I will have another value 1, value 2 is empty. This is the result parameters. If the result is if the result is false, and if the result is false and there is something in the operation, but if you can say the value, it should be action dot value, it's not value 1, it's value 2. Okay, TWO2, value 2. So let's try to reload it. 1 2 plus, and then you can see that the 4 5 is there, but this time you can say current state. You have to pass the operation what, because the operation is not empty, so you must pass the operation here as well. So it will be better to save the operation also. Control Shift R, 1 2 plus, you can see 1 2 and plus is appearing, 1 2. So similar to this minus, multiply and divide, we will do same things. Let's go back to our keypad, and let's say I will copy this handle click and I will pass this here into my minus as well. It will be minus, same thing will be happening similar to each other, and then the third one will be this one, it will be multiply. Let's make it like this also. So it will be multiply, and the last one is, for example, it's division. So let's pass this one here also. Yeah, so it's divide. For example, if I will click 1 2 plus 1 2, it's working fine. Let's hit 4 1 5 minus 4 2. You can see Control Shift, it's working fine. Okay, let's say Control Shift R, 7 8 multiply by 9, this is working also fine. When you click on AC, it should be reset. Let's work with AC also. What AC will do, AC will pass the initial, AC will let it to be resetted. So how to reset this? We have to pass some operation that is not available. Okay, so I will pass some power sign to reset it, so it will turn back to initial state. What you have to do here is, on the click of account, you can use any kind of logic, whatever you like, it's not a big deal to do reset, but in my case I will be using same handle click, but the, once again, not this one, I will be using same handle click that I am passing to the operations, but I will be passing the operation as power sign that is not available in my switch statement. See, plus minus multiply and divide is available, and default will return back the initial state. So for example, if I will click on divide, sorry to say, if I will go to keypad, I have to pass results as true as well. So you guys can see, if I will click here, it will return back my 1 2 minus 9. If I click here, it will return back my code to initial state. Now finally I have to work with equal to button. So how you can work with equal to button? Same thing what you are doing here in this, you have to copy and you have to paste in the handle click, but this time just you have to pass what? You have to pass, the operation will be the same one what you are passing here, your current operation. The value just keep it as empty, and results just pass it as true. That's it. Control Shift R, let's say 1 2 plus 1 2 equals to 24. Let's say 1 5 minus 6 equals to 9. Let's say 4 multiplied by 6 equals to 24. Let's say 10 divided by 2 equals to 5. So this is how very basic your calculator will work. Let me put one header on top of it also for you guys. For more clarity in the container, I will be saying paragraph, and this paragraph class name, that will be, for example, border dash b bg dash transparent and text dash 3xl, and the value will be in my paragraph what I'm passing the text. The text will be, for example, I will say calculator. That's it. And for example, I will say justify center as well. So this is how my calculator will work. This is how you can say we will build calculator in React.js. 10 plus 8 equals to 18. Let's say I will keep some long number 155555 plus 36666. So this will work very normally. All the operations will work. Let me go through it one more time. What we have done here is we had created an empty project with Tailwind integration. In case any one of you don't know about Tailwind integration in React.js, my previous two videos I had explained all of that in very details. So let's move forward. In my project, I had created one simple container. In that container, I had created three things. One of them is paragraph, that is a header text for my calculator, then display container, and then keypad. Display is a functional component that contains two paragraphs inside it. One of them is showing inputs, another one is showing the results. Background is white. Inputs is showing value 1, then operation, and then value 2. And the paragraph is showing me the results. Similarly, if I go into the keypad, keypad is having three columns. You can see 1, 2, and 3 different columns, 4 different columns. So these are 1, 2, 3, and 4 columns. Each columns contain 1, 2, and 4 different buttons. So you guys can see 1, 2, 3, and 4 buttons. First 3 is 1, 2, 3 button number, and then after that we will have an operation similar to this. Secondly, in the second one also same thing, third one also same, and the fourth one we have reset button, 0 button, and equal to button along with division. What we have done here in the container, we had created a reducer hook with initial state, value 1 is empty, 2 is empty, operation is empty, and the result is 0. Then reducer takes an object as an action. That object we are passing actually 3 different, you can say in object we have 3 different keys or properties available. One of them is operation, one of them is value, and the last one will be result, if we have to show results or no. Operation will let us know that if we have to pass the value inside the first parameter or inside the value 1 or the value 2. If the operation is empty, just whatever the value we are receiving, concatenate it with value 1. Why? Because we are using strings. 1 plus 1 will make 1 and 1 together in a string. Similarly, if the operation is not empty, pass the same operation back to the current state. Result is always going on 0, and return the value 2 as coming value inside it, or concatenate the coming value inside the value 2. In case we had passed the results true, that is only happening when you are clicking the equal to button. You have to check if it's plus, minus, multiply, or divide. If it's plus, reset all the states, and just what you have to do is you have to return the result with value 1 plus value 2. Similarly, value 1 minus value 2, value 1 multiplied by value 2, and value 1 divided by value 2. And you have to divide all of them in, you have to change all of them in integers from string. In case you guys want to use floats, you can just change it to parse float. You have to add another button for dot here, and just that dot will act as it will allow you to return the floating point variables or values inside the string. I hope you guys understand it. In case of any question, any query, please comment us in our comment box. You can reach us in our mailbox as well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. See you in the next video. Take care. Goodbye.